The mind grasps what it knows, and when you transcend the mind, you enter into formless awareness, where all forms dissolve. Great spiritual teachers like Buddha refrained from affirming or denying the existence of God, because they knew that the common understanding of God was based on illusion. What truly exists is the pure self, the eternal, changeless reality within us, often referred to as Brahman. Knowing this on a conceptual level is one thing, but realizing it deeply is another, and that realization is the true essence of the spiritual journey. This journey always begins with the mind, because it is through the mind that we first engage with spirituality. The mind, driven by thoughts, directs our attention outward. Spiritual disciplines emphasize negating thoughts, not engaging or identifying with them, because they pull the mind outward. The same mind that is distracted by external stimuli can become still, pure, and inwardly focused when not driven by thoughts. This process leads to a state where the mind is no longer active and the individual rests in pure awareness. There are sages who have completely stilled their minds. They are not disturbed by thoughts. Even if a thought arises, they can choose whether to engage with it. These sages are deeply settled in pure awareness, understanding that awareness and mind are separate. We often mistake consciousness as something that belongs to the mind, but in states like deep sleep where the mind is absent, we remain alive. This shows that our true nature is consciousness, not the mind. If we stay rooted in this consciousness, without identifying with thoughts, emotions, or the body, we begin to recognize the illusory nature of the mind and body. Awareness is a witness to all experiences, uninvolved in the suffering of the body or mind. The ego, however, believes it is the body and suffers as a result. But this suffering is an illusion, for in truth, we are the pure awareness that witnesses everything without involvement. In daily life, people often complain about their circumstances, believing they have control over events, yet everything is unfolding according to a divine script, with no true doer behind it. Recognizing this brings immense peace, as it lifts the burden of responsibility from our shoulders. Life becomes like a joy ride, where we can simply enjoy the experience, trusting that it is all part of a divine plan. This trust is akin to surrender, where we let go of our need to control and accept whatever happens with gratitude. The moment we stop complaining and start embracing life as it is, we begin to live in harmony with the divine will. We often use strong emotions and harsh words in our daily interactions, driven by ego, which creates division and suffering. But when the ego dissolves, love becomes like sunshine, equal and unconditional for all. There is no more groupism, favoritism, or harshness. Instead, there is a natural, effortless love that embraces everything and everyone. Our journey is from ego to the realization of the self, from the illusion of separation to the truth of unity. In this process, we learn that surrendering the ego and the illusion of control is not a loss but a gain. We are giving up our attachment to the false and embracing the true. The teachings of great spiritual masters guide us on this path, showing us that the ego is a mere shadow, an illusion that obscures the light of the self. By understanding and living these teachings, we begin to see that the world, the body, and even the concept of God are projections of the mind. As we detach from these projections, we stop blaming others, stop taking credit for our achievements, and realize that everything is part of a divine play. This awareness leads to a state of pure being, where we simply witness the unfolding of life without attachment or aversion. In this state, we are no longer caught in the dream of life, but awaken to the reality of the self. We understand that we are not individual entities separate from the whole, but are the whole itself. This realization brings profound peace and joy as we move beyond the dualities of pleasure and pain, success and failure, and embrace the unity of all existence. To live in this awareness is to be free from the illusions of the mind and ego. It is to experience life as it truly is, a divine, joyful ride where we are not the doers but the witnesses. By surrendering to this truth, we find ourselves aligned with the divine will, living in harmony with all that is, and experiencing the boundless love and peace that is our true nature.